Hello and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching. I can't wait for us to get to the main topic of this video, which is going to be playing safe. And it's going to be kind of a follow-up to my first video, which is playing safe when you're first meeting somebody. This is more of staying safe when it comes to getting tested, in the process of getting tested. So I can't wait to talk about that because your girl recently got tested. Yes. So with that being said, let's get the show on the road. So first things first, when it comes to playing safe, you have to know your status. You have to know exactly what your health stands and, you know, if you have any infections. Just so that way, if you do, you don't pass them on, because you never know. Sometimes you can get a sexually transmitted infection because the person that you're playing around with might not even have symptoms that they have an infection, and you could get it and you might not even have symptoms either. So you just never know. It's a responsible thing to do, and honestly, it's easy peasy. So how testing works now in the time of COVID is you reach out to your PCP either through the phone or through an online portal. You schedule like a phone interview or a video interview, and that's just, you know, to basically go through a couple of questions with you to see if you fit the qualifications to get the proper test. If you do, then you schedule your appointment, you go get your labs done, and then it just depends on your healthcare provider how soon you should hear back. I'm with Kaiser at the time, so I heard back pretty quick in less than 24 hours. That was the best part of the experience. So now your girl knows her status and is empowered to make good decisions based off of that information. So I got my results through email notifications, where I logged into my online portal for Kaiser and I checked the results there, and that was it. And now I know. If you're insured and don't want to go through your PCP, or if you're uninsured, what you can do is, I remember when I was living in Los Angeles, once upon a time, there was this HIV testing truck that was like right outside of the expo line. And I'm just like, well, I'm waiting for my bus. I might as well get my tested and, you know at the very least if I'm, my status when it comes to HIV. Because HIV doesn't tell you everything. HIV is only telling you if your body has, the HIV in it. It doesn't tell you if you may possibly have all the other STIs. So there's HIV, there's other sexually transmitted infections, then there's other things that you can have as well, maybe bacterial infections. I think that covers most of the things that can be wrong with your health. Planned Parenthood is a wonderful resource if you want to get tested. When I lived in Inglewood, there were community clinics around the area, so I would just urge you to do a search. Sometimes as I search on Yelp, just health center or what it is that I'm basically needing. Well, Yelp is gonna help you find what you need, and there's gonna be tons of reviews there. I hope that information helps you guys, and that way empowers you to know your status. So if there's a nonprofit, if there's a community health center that you want to promote, that you go ahead and comment it down below. I'd love to get some momentum going on that and connecting people to the resources that they need. Like, that honestly would be such just a dream come true if this blew up just for that. So now that we've talked about the resources that are at your disposal, whether you're insured or uninsured, let's talk about something that's incredibly important too, that I don't think is talked about enough, but we should talk about it more, which is the hygiene. Hygiene plays a big role when it comes to playing with somebody else, because if somebody's not up on their hygiene, we're not playing together. Like, just being hygienic is absolutely the bare minimum when you hook up with somebody or when you play with somebody. Just bare minimum. Like, it's just not polite to hook up with somebody and be stanky, not showered, have your hands dirty, and then be all up on somebody, like all over them or in them. Like, no. Something that's as important as making sure that you're not stinky is making sure that you're not stinking too much of your cologne. Because aside from getting a big lick of salt, it's also not pleasant to get a big whiff of whatever cologne it is that is on that person, because that can be just as much of a turnoff as smelling terrible. The last part of hygiene when it comes to hooking up to somebody that I don't think is talked about enough is oral hygiene. We have to talk about it. So especially if you're a tonsil card holder like me and you've not had an operation to have them removed, you have to take care of your hygiene, because in all those crevices in your tonsils, those kidney stones that pop out, that's all bacteria. That's why it smells so gross, but they're so satisfying to like. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, because we have that extra widget up in our throat, we have to make sure that we take care of that, because if we don't, the bacteria from there can somehow find its way And we don't want that happening. We don't want that happening because that's just asking for trouble. Like, I want us all to enjoy our playtime. I want us all to, you know, not have to go to the doctor for all these things. So that's why taking care of our oral hygiene is important. Aside from making sure that you don't brush your teeth too soon before you play, because that leaves a little, you know, that leaves micro cuts in your mouth, and you don't want the possibility of transmitting anything if there is there. You just don't, it's just better safe than sorry. Brush your teeth like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours before you play. If you gotta freshen up because maybe you ate something a little too stinky, some mouthwash is gonna be just fine. Even better is gonna be some warm salt water. And what that's gonna do is gonna freshen you up, and it's also gonna take care of the bacteria. So that's what it's gonna do when it's gargling up in your mouth. It's gonna be, you know, sanitizing your mouth basically. It's the possibility of transmitting anything, any bacteria or mouth in your throat is less likely to happen there. So I feel like both parties should, you know, come prepared and make sure that they're all ready to come play, because then that way we all have less things to worry about and we have a better experience all around. So if there's anything useful that you found in this video, go ahead and comment below. Let me know if there's anything that you learn. Let me know, or everybody else know, what resources are at their disposal that they might not be aware about. Knowledge is power, and this app is a wonderful way to go ahead and use it. So I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Let me share the theme of that video with you here before I leave. The title I'm working with right now, it's going to be Kinky Boots, Communicating Before and in Bed. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate the watch. Please subscribe, like, comment below, and I can't wait to see you until the next video.